I come back and I can't find it. It's like, okay, what happened to it? You guys didn't sell it, did you? It has like a big pre-order sticker on it. Yeah. Like, no, it's probably over here somewhere. So I look and they have shoved it. Somebody, don't know who, nobody fessed up to this. Somebody had put it in a stack of other stuff that was special orders. The kicker is my record is laying flat on the bottom underneath all these pre-order stuff. Okay? Which is bad for it. Having stuff on top of it is already kind of like, that sucks. And some of it's like the Funko Pop vinyl things that don't weigh anything. In addition to like little things that don't weigh much, there is, I kid you not, the Calvin and Hobbes entire anthology thing. Oh. Somebody put right on top of it. And that thing is like 2 cinder blocks being placed right on top of a record. I'm just like, are you kidding me? Somebody put my record underneath everything like this. Yeah. And I was like, let me get it out from here and see if it's still any good. Nope. Greetings, fellow rewriters. It is time for the One More Rewrite podcast. I'm Jester, that's Lunchbox.
Hello.
And we're here to talk movies, news, and other things and such as reviews. Gonna do a little trailer talks. It's Magnificent 7 and Independence Day dropped a couple new trailers this week. Also, sadly, what seems to be the theme of 2016 is In Memoriam. Jeez. And, of course, a little bit of costuming news you may have seen out there with a certain Power Ranger villain. So, why don't we just dive right into things with trailer talk and the latest, I don't want to say latest because it's actually a brand new trailer, for Magnificent 7, which is a remake of a remake of a... remake. Are we on this, like, the third iteration remake? Does it count? Because it's based on Seven Samurai, and then... You had the Western one, and then
this one. The original Magnificent 7. And the Magnificent 7...
Rides again?
Ride again? Something like that. There was a sequel somehow, because didn't like half of them die in the first one?
I don't know. You might have to edit that out, because that might be a spoiler. But not unexpected, because it's a Western, and sometimes those things are tragic. So you've got to expect those things to happen. I don't know.
And it was, like, what? 50 years ago?
Well, yeah, but
you can't have spoilers on a 50-year-old movie.
You never know. Anyway.
Rosebud was a sled.
Okay, yes. But, so, okay, eclectic cast of characters. You've got Chris Pratt. You've got Denzel Washington, who looks like he's the leader of the gang, so to speak. Right. You've got a guy whose name I always mess up, Vince D'Onofrio. Thank you, D'Onofrio. It's a
D'Onofrio.
And I'm blanking on the rest of the cast, but those are the ones that just popped out to me. I was like, oh, hey, and I think that's...
And the first one, was famous for it was all, like, these famous people at the time. I mean, now we look back, kind of most people don't know who these are. Charles Bronson.
I was going to say, Charles Bronson and... I'm blanking something on those too.
Blanking, and it's been too long since I've seen that movie.
Yeah, kind of. But it's kind of cool because they do have all these people who are bigger names. They're Eli Wallach. I knew there was that. Yul Brynner. That's the name I was totally spacing. I was like, my mind wanted to say the big bald guy. Steve McQueen, James Coburn, Brad Dexter. Yeah, you have like a cast of characters. This is for the original, by the way.
They're not in the new one.
Yeah.
Although it would be awesome to have Steve McQueen.
Yeah, I'd like to have Steve McQueen back just for that. Okay, so you have Chris Pratt, Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke, a guy named Lee Byung-hun, who I'm not sure, Vincent D'Onofrio, I don't know. D'Onofrio, Peter Sarsgaard, and, it looks pretty cool. It's a Western. We haven't had one of those in a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a good one, anyway.
Not a good one. I like Two Grit, but that was a few years ago, too.
Yeah, so it's been a couple of years.
I was going to say, that's been a few years since that as well. In any case, this is actually, it looks pretty darn cool. But I will say, it, again, it even has Chris Pratt. It reminds me of the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. You have this kind of hyped up version of a 70s, 60s tune with awesome shots and a cast of, an ensemble cast of characters being awesome and maybe tossing out occasional quips or just looking like they're bamfs, for lack of a better term, and it's just, I don't know. Not that I fault it for being yet another Guardians of the Galaxy style trailer. Actually,
which I think that really, if there's any movie that deserves to have a trailer in the same style, I mean, it's kind of like the same sort of idea of like, random assemblage of people that are going out to save the universe, or various people within it.
Yeah. Whether it's saving the universe or saving a small town or saving the country, I don't know, or the planet Earth. Yeah, I get that. It's interesting that the Guardians of the Galaxy pioneered that kind of way of shooting and not shooting really, but of cutting together an advertising trailer. It does unfortunately make me always think of it as soon as something does that style, but It is effective. I'm intrigued to see it, and it's, again, I can't overemphasize the fact that it's a Western, which we haven't had, but it's one that looks like it has personality and not just sort of out there. And it's a Western for whatever reason, but,
And I don't know why we needed to remake Magnificent Seven.
I don't either, but I'll give it this. I am also more interested in it than Ben-Hur.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that it looks like a better movie than Ben-Hur.
And it looks like a better movie than the Ben-Hur remake. But, and it's funny because last time when we were talking about the Ben-Hur trailer, we had mentioned that sometimes you get these big actors and they stick out because it's just
right.
And all of a sudden, hey, it's Morgan Freeman. Hey, everybody come here, look, it's Morgan Freeman. But when you get a cast of characters who are well known, all of them are well known, it draws you, and you're like, oh, cool. All these
great people are
in this. I gotta go see it. So, obviously, we're both interested in seeing this. We'll probably have more to say as it leads up to its actual initial release.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen the trailer, go check it out because, hey, it's a Western shoot 'em up kind of romp, but it also has like a little vengeance story thing going on there, and I would say even the script writing too looks good, not just one-liners, so to speak, but with that actual kind of, I'm interested to see what happens with these characters kind of storyline. So we'll see how it goes, as we like to say. A little bit more trailer talk for you as well. The Jason Bourne trailer has come onto the scene, and something that I wanted to note about it that also has happened with the Magnificent Seven trailer and another trailer we're going to talk about is before it starts, there's this weird little stinger that shows a quick clip from the trailer and then says, this is the official trailer.
Right.
Which I don't know why they would do that other than to deter people from seeing the 1,000+ YouTube copy pastes that people do of trailers when they come out. So, like, here's your official trailer, which I know it threw you off. You're like, what the heck? Okay. It's like, that wasn't the trailer. It was the trailer before the trailer.
It was the trailer for the trailer.
It was an ad for the trailer before to let you know that it was the trailer. Anyway, Bourne. It's not identity. It's not, what is it? Supremacy, identity, revenge, and Revenge of the Bourne or something.
Right, which apparently they're also doing another one with Jeremy Renner that's supposed to come out this summer.
Another spin-off? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
completely separate from the Jason Bourne. There's 2 Bourne movies coming out this summer.
Interesting. I hadn't heard about that.
But only one of them actually has Matt Damon.
It has Matt Damon. But, so we have what is this? I would say it's the 5th installment in the Bourne Identity universe, but only the 4th movie starring Mr. Matt Damon. And it's hard. I'm curious because the actual original novels by Robert Ludlum only had like a handful, like maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And it's interesting if you ever read them because it's actually Bourne is a government agent. He's almost like their version, the American version of Bond.
Yeah.
Really. So all this stuff of where he feels like he's tricked by the CIA, FBI, or whoever else is out to get him isn't there. He's actually a team player, so to speak, and he's like fighting spies on the other side. So it's interesting to see how they've taken the series kind of a totally different direction. But it's also interesting that they're up to movie 4. It still looks kind of interesting as far as thrillers go.
Yeah, certainly. And it's definitely got, Matt Damon in there kind of kicking butt, He's doing that Jason Bourne thing where he's like taking out 20 people with a magazine. You know,
Yeah.
which is kind of the entire reason that we watch the show.
Yeah.
Is because of the cool fight scenes.
I was gonna say, like, I'd say a good chunk of it is the fight scenes where he kind of Jackie Chan's his way around. He doesn't kind of do backflips up off of things, but I would say it's a Jackie Chan meets MacGyver type fight style where he
Right.
grabs something and fights somebody with it.
Yeah.
And you're like, dang, that's cool, because it looks like he's thinking on his feet to, like, grab the magazine or whatever. Like, it's usually something more lethal, like a hot poker or something, but it's
Right.
it makes the character seem
That was
more...
one of my favorite scenes, was when he used the magazine to take the guy out. Like, he rolled up the magazine. And he was,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
using it
No,
to-
that's true. He did.
like-
I forgot about that one. Yeah, he does. He uses it in a jabbing kind of knife-like way,
right,
because he rolls
and
it
then
so tight.
and then uses it to do holds. He
Yeah.
does various holds like you would with like a
stick,
small stick,
or
yeah.
something, yeah. So, and that's part of the appeal of the series, and probably why they can do a fourth one, is it's got that kind of ingenuity and action where it's not just him pummeling somebody, which, is fun.
Does a fair amount of that as well.
There's a fair amount of that, and that's, I'll say as a guy, that's enjoyable just to watch,
Right.
two guys like taking and duking it out. But it's that kind of cleverness that I think has kept the series going into like a fourth iteration with Matt Damon, and also it does this thriller kind of thing well, where kind of what's happening, 90% of what's happening.
Right.
Like, you've got the big overlord player trying to get various things and machinations going and trying to hunt down Jason Bourne, gosh darn it.
Yeah.
And this time it's Tommy Lee Jones, so it's I'm assuming, at least from the way the trailer's cut, that Tommy Lee is the Tommy Lee Jones, I should say. Two different people. Tommy Lee Jones is the villain, or at least at the very least he's
at least he's intimated to be the villain.
He's intimated to be the villain in this trailer, and it's clear at least that he's the guy in the room, because the two parts you have of a Jason Bourne movie are Jason Bourne out there running around evading the local authorities and beating people up, and then you have the person in the room who's basically got connections through the internet, through satellites, whatever. Like, you can have a man on the ground
orchestrating everything behind the scenes to try and take Jason Bourne out.
And that's probably a good way of putting it. You've got the maestro, the behind the scenes orchestrating the whole thing, and then you've got Bourne who's hopping along, evading the various tech and people that are thrown his way, or assets, which I always thought was a cool way of putting it. Like, is it secure, or is it, adds to the universe. But it should be interesting to see how it goes, because it's very formulaic, I'd say, at this point, but still fun to watch. So even though he's dropping things like, I know who I am, or do you really know the truth?
Yeah.
I'm
I like you have to remember who you are. Like, wait.
Did he figure that out last time?
I thought that was like 2 movies. What?
Yeah. I don't think it's going quite dry at this point, but I think that unless they do this story in a satisfying way, that it could be the last one. I'm kind of hoping maybe they know when to call it quits, because you can't always have him not knowing who he is and surviving and still hunting down clues, because then it just...
Right, well, I mean, the trailer basically starts out with him saying, I remember.
I remember everything.
I remember everything. That doesn't mean you know everything.
Yeah.
Like, all right, tell me.
Yeah, all right, tell me. Get me more intrigued in the intrigue, so to speak. But we'll see how it goes, as we like to say.
Yes.
But I'm interested to see if they can wrap up the series, or if they can at least keep the series going without seeming...
Certainly looks like fun.
It looks like fun. At the very least, it looks like a lot of fun. So there's that. Okay. Well, it certainly seems that trailers are popping out left and right, so it's like a hot time for trailers. So,
and speaking of hot, how about that Independence Day Resurgence?
Exactly, and I think that having seen it, I'm actually a bit more eager to see it than I was before, because part of me actually half expected the same kind of Guardians of the Galaxy trailer again.
Right.
I was predicting Space Oddity or something with
Right.
goofy one-liners and such, and maybe... Even though Will Smith's not in it, maybe the person who's playing his son in it, Will Smithing all over the place in his place. But definitely going for a very darker tone in this.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
And I was thinking...
Although there is some humor in the trailer.
There's some humor in the trailer, and it all goes to Jeff Goldblum this time, because there's no Will Smith.
Right.
I think a particular favorite of mine was that they're shown destroying what looks like... I want to say it looks like Big Ben and Parliament, and there, and then you cut to him saying they like to go for the landmarks, which is great, not just for the Independence Day universe, but just, I would say, almost for any
for any big adventure one like that.
Yeah, any big adventure apocalyptic movie where landmarks are getting destroyed.
Right.
Like, what's there left to blow up? Well, but yeah. It's great because not only is it funny, it's also a bit self-referential, but not distractingly so.
Yeah.
So, hopefully he won't say "Welcome to Earth" or something weird like that. It's like out of place. So he wasn't here for it. It's interesting because they have a lot of callbacks to the original film. We've all lost somebody, and they show Bill Pullman, who's in it. They show somebody who I guess is supposed to be Bill Pullman's daughter from the first film, and they show the kid who's playing the Will Smith character. Well, I can't remember his actual name in the movie. I'll just say Will Smith.
Yeah, well, he was playing Will Smith.
Will Smith playing Will Smith in the first movie. And for I don't know what reason, they have Brent Spiner back. Which doesn't say there's anything wrong with that, because I like Brent Spiner in the first one, but it seemed to me like he was pretty dead.
Hey, spoilers.
Spoilers. Okay, that one's 20 years old. They even say that in the trailer. Like, it seemed like his character had died, but apparently he's back. So maybe they just found him unconscious on the floor, and it wasn't like he was actually dead. And
he was pretty strangled.
He was pretty well strangled. They even looked like they had checked for a pulse. So it should be interesting.
Yeah. Maybe it's his twin brother.
It's his twin brother. Yeah, there we go.
Or maybe he actually is an android.
There we go. that would be to the height of hilarious if they had him be an android instead. Well, yeah, now he has a different kind of personality. But
no, it's pronounced data.
Yeah.
You've been getting it wrong.
That's not data. If I was French, it would be data. But actually, anyway, but let me go back to it's serious. It looks serious. It could be that it's actually filled with the same kind of humor. I should really go back and see how quote unquote serious the original trailer was. But it had Will Smith, and I swear there were pull lines in the original trailer for
Welcome to Earth was in the original trailer.
Was in the original trailer. So you had those kind of goofy quips that you kind of expect from a big budget action film, which is not to downplay Jeff Goldblum's quips, because I think he has 2 or 3 of them in the trailer.
Yeah.
But the overall look of the movie is a lot darker than
what goes up
must come down. It's like cities come crashing. They have some sort of weird gravity weapon that they're using to destroy cities.
Yeah.
The ship, there's actually only one ship instead of dozens this time that crash lands and basically plants itself on the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
There's some huge base. So it's interesting because
I thought it was the Pacific. Was the Atlantic?
It was the Atlantic. It's the Atlantic.
Oh, but then they had to make it all the way across the country, because at the beginning of the trailer they're shown destroying Vegas.
Yes. But, as the...
Well, I guess they destroy everything then.
I was going to say they destroy everything. It has a couple of those, inspirational things. It's like, well, we thought we could win or something. It's like,
right.
they thought we were lost or something last time. So I'm actually, having seen the second trailer, more excited than I was when I saw the first one, because it looks like it could be both fun, exciting, and... I complain about how dark other stuff looks, but I'm okay if they take a slightly darker tone with this, because I don't think you can always have a movie be straight up romp. And especially if they decide to do this as a trilogy, like the Independence Day trilogy.
Even really the Independence Day, the first one, was all that light when you think about it. It wasn't all comedy.
It wasn't.
Killed Brent Spiner.
I was like, they killed Brent Spiner, so who came back?
You watch him getting strangled and then manipulating his vocal cords. This is not light stuff.
No, I was going to say that's true. There's a number of very dark scenes in there with whole cities getting destroyed, people running from flaming death, and the dog Boomer inexplicably living. Horrible, horrible things.
He never killed the dog.
He never killed the dog. At least he didn't in 90s films. Maybe this time they'll
except for Lost World.
Except for Lost World, yeah, really.
Lost World, the only one that killed the dog.
Maybe this time around they'll have a callback to that, and the dog will die. Who knows? Boomer went boom. That'd be awesome. That aside, It's funny because I also think that what was Will Smith thinking not getting in on this?
Yeah.
Because I hate to say it, the last few films he'd been in been kind of flops. Or rather lackluster and not really taking critical notice like he was kind of hoping. And like there was like someone where he was teaching somebody to be a con man, wasn't it?
Focus,
thank you.
Which actually I didn't think was that bad. I've heard other people didn't care for it, but
it wasn't.
But I enjoyed it.
It was average.
I've actually seen it a few times.
Like,
I liked it.
Well, some people liked it, some people didn't.
I like con man movies.
Yeah, we like con man movies, but not everybody does. So that has to put it in the kind of average category. But Will Smith could use a win, and if he would have been, I really don't get why he passed up on this. Maybe he was afraid it was going to go. Not enough him. I don't know. Maybe he's banking on the Suicide Squad movie more.
Yeah, maybe he just kind of wanted to go in a different direction, you know?
I guess, but he's definitely Will Smithing in the Suicide Squad stuff. So
well,
why not Will Smith it up in an Independence Day sequel? I mean, that's one that
I'm still holding out hope that he shows up
as a cameo.
Yeah, as a cameo,
as a Force ghost, because it looks like they kill him off in the trailer.
I think that if he shows up with the cameo, and somewhere in the cameo he has the line, "Don't tell anybody I was here." That way, because then you can like have that like little inside reference of wink, wink, secret cameo, you know?
Yeah.
So that everybody's surprised when they go in to see the movie and they see, oh, that one was there.
Yeah. Or maybe they could have like a Marvel type thing where there's an after credits scene where Will Smith makes an appearance and they like set up the third movie.
Oh yeah.
And see, I would go for that.
That'd be good. I'd go for that.
I'd go for a Marvel type ending. That's what I'd do because I'd actually I'd like
just
to
have Will show up in the Stinger.
Have Will show up in the Stinger, recruiting a special band of alien fighters. But you know, it will be what it will be. We will be missing Will Smith, but it looks like it could be fun.
Well, at least we still got Goldblum and Spiner.
We still got Goldblum and Spiner, so there's that at least. But I was very much hoping for the big hat. So let's go ahead and talk about that. That released photo of Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa. And so, is it an awesome update or a failed Mortal Kombat costume? And you seem to fall more on the side of it's an awesome update. I kind of missed the big hat.
Just looking on what people are saying, like, absolutely looks nothing like Rita Repulsa.
Yeah.
Like, well, yeah, but you can't have the big jester hat. I know you like jester hats.
I do, but this almost looks like she's wearing the old school looked like she was wearing a big boomerang on her head. Big gray poofy boomerang, and I think that was supposed to be her hair. Just based on the way it looks, because he got that little tousle thing going on above it, but it just, I don't know. Anyway, so...
Or maybe she's just got a weird-looking head.
Maybe she's just got a really weird-looking head. Maybe those are horns underneath. In any case, so yeah, you've got Elizabeth Banks, I don't say she released them, but you've got People Magazine giving us the quote-unquote first look at Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa, and it looks like she's a bit dirty in this shot, too.
No, she's got, like, on her forehead, she's got, like, little, like, lines, like
I
ridges
see it.
on her
Well, it's
forehead.
not just that, it's her arms, too, look like it's got bruises and dirt on it. Or maybe it's supposed to be like scales, who knows? Maybe it's supposed to be scales, because the costume is like this green pointy thing with, like, lots of spikes everywhere, and she's got what looks like those little, what do they call them? The little horn thingies, like the little trumpet things.
Bugles.
Bugles. She looks like she's wearing like bugles on her fingers, like
Well,
those
that's what the original Rita Repulsa had. That's the throwback.
She had the Madonna bra. The original Rita Repulsa had a Madonna bra and maybe some of those things. She did have like the long talons. I thought she just had fingernail things going on. I'm looking this picture up when we talk about this because I thought the original Rita Repulsa just had the goofy...
No, she had, like, weird finger spike thingies.
She did? I thought it was just fingernails. No, I don't want to see more of Rita Repulsa being played by Elizabeth Banks.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
I can't see. No, she's clenching her fist in that picture. See, okay, here's the bottom line. Mr. Lunchbox here thinks that it looks like a good update. I'm not sold. And I think this is like the first look we've had. We haven't actually seen the Power Rangers themselves yet. But
well, you can't like change the Power Rangers themselves that much.
No, but you update their costume and you can make it look less like spandex with various sewn-on patches. You can make it look like a battle suit. To a degree. Without it being...
Not just like people in spandex with motorcycle helmets.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And this one has... I don't know. I just get this vibe.
I think we need to see the trailer.
We need to see a trailer to see how it plays and see how she moves in the thing.
Yeah.
Because right now, like, I'm feeling like I'm looking at a character select screen for Mortal Kombat, and you could choose Rita Repulsa. You know,
and that would be awesome.
That would be kind of awesome. Like, I could see this as an awesome, like, hidden character in Mortal Kombat where, you know, you press a combination of buttons and behind Reptile.
Up, down, left, right, BA.
No, that's a Konami code. Although that'd be an interesting way of reaching it, too. Because, insiders in gaming like using references even to things not in their own property. Anyway. So you got this green, scaly lizard look. It looks like she has blemishes all over her skin that look kind of reptilian, so I guess they're making her reptilian-ish. At least that's what I'm assuming, because let's not forget that Power Rangers is a kid's kind of property first and foremost. So having green metallic stuff and having kind of over-exaggerated costume... Look at me, I'm sitting here trying to say that the other one's not over-exaggerated.
No.
Yeah. She wears the Madonna bra and the big giant boomerang hat thing on her head. I don't know. I'm assuming it really will, because right now it just looks really goofy to me, which sounds weird in defense of the other one. But
I know.
It's like, how are you defending this on the it's goofy looking level? Especially when you have a direct side-by-side.
I know.
Like, I don't know how I'm defending this on the level of it looks like.
See, you gave up. You gave up completely.
Like,
you can't defend it. Your position is indefensible.
Yeah, because you realize, like, look at this thing. It looks ridiculous. And the other part of my mind says, which one? It's like, okay, fair point. I guess I'm thinking too much in the I wish it looked like old school campy ridiculous, because to do a shout out to the original Power Rangers film, I really enjoyed Ivan Ooze as a villain, as we've talked about before, and I enjoyed also the fact that even though they went big budget movie screen, they still had... It was updated because it was a movie, you've got more money to spend, but he still had that kind of look that the TV show had of a little bit on the cheesy side for the villain. So... I don't know. There's something a little...
So you're saying it's too high budget?
I'm saying it's too high budget, and there's almost something a little too adult also about the picture itself. I think it must be
She's showing too much skin?
She's showing a little too much cleavage for me for a kid's film. Of course, maybe it's not a kid's film. Maybe it's going to be like that independent YouTube movie where they have blood, guts, and gore. I don't know. But yeah, it might be that.
Well, you got to figure that all the people that were watching Power Rangers when it was on...
are in their 20s.
Yeah, they're in their 20s now. They want the updated version.
Well, yeah, but they're still, like, updating the TV show. The TV show has been going strong forever since it's been released. Different iterations, kind of like the Transformers. But you've had, like, Power Rangers Neo, Power Rangers in Space, Power Rangers this, that, the other. So... I'm kind of curious if this is just like a direct reboot type weird thing of the original series, or if it's like conglomeration of everything that's come out.
Or maybe just like redo the original movie, just make it a whole lot darker.
Yeah, maybe make it a whole lot darker. It's just...
Ooh, where's my autograph book?
Yeah. I'd be interested to see how this plays out, and I am now looking forward to see the first trailer for it, even though it was just kind of like a Power Rangers movie? Really? What, this day and age? But, yeah, I'm interested to see the costuming on the Rangers as well, because at this point, with how much they've kept that under wraps, it almost feels like a big reveal, like the way that Gollum was, or the look of the Hulk was. It's always interesting how they have big reveals, and they let out a little bit of a time with big effect movies or big budget movies for kids too.
Well, like I'm gonna say the original Godzilla, but not the original Godzilla, but the Godzilla with Matthew Broderick.
Yeah,
they were like really trying to keep everyone from knowing what Godzilla was going to look like until they saw the movie.
Next, he looks like crap.
But then, of course, everybody just put out all the toys, and because the toys got released before the movie came out, and everybody saw what Godzilla looked like in the toys.
Yeah.
And even though they weren't supposed to be out before the movie came out,
retailers don't pay attention.
Retailers didn't pay attention.
So let's put these things right out there. Spoil the movie. There we go.
Yep.
Although I don't think seeing Rita Repulsa spoils the movie. It's just, we'll see what happens, I guess. You know? Yet again, see what happens. And now time for our In Memoriam segment. Actually, we don't want this to be a segment. Stop dying, people. Gosh, it's just 2016 has been...
It's been brutal.
It has been brutal on stars and music people and wrestling people. It's just been like, dude.
Yeah.
It's like April is barely wrapping up here, and we've been losing legends left and right.
Yeah. It's been rough. So
let's talk about some people you might have missed in the wherewithal of other bigger stars passing, which is Doris Roberts. Probably you might know her best from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Everybody Loves Raymond.
Never watched the show. I couldn't get through any of the episodes, but I saw some of the stuff with Peter Boyle and Doris Roberts as his wife, which you were saying by all accounts was the best part of the show, which I can see.
Pretty much. Everybody who loved the show tolerated Raymond.
Yeah.
They were just waiting for the parts with Peter Boyle and Doris Roberts to come back around. They were the best parts of the show. And, Budding Lady, I'm sure a bunch of stuff before that, but not really, that...
Not really that you'd recognize her. She's one of these character actresses who was a that woman, kind of like, oh, it's that woman again. Oh, it's that lady. It's that. I always call it the that guy syndrome. You don't know who their name is, but you recognize them from everything. And she typically would play the kind of batty, annoying older mother butting in type. And I think what made
and did it well.
And I think what people made her character enjoyable to people. I think, like you said, her interactions with Peter Boyle, and even though it wasn't quite the same comedy as George and Gracie, because Peter Boyle's character had more of a acerbic wit about it. It was like whatever, dry, but they still had that kind of interaction. Like they were an old married couple, just kind of not always bickering, but tossing out whatever. I don't want to say just one-liners, but their interactions seem genuine. Yeah. Because I'd never really watched the show except for clips here and there, and usually the ones that get shared the most in places like YouTube are the ones with the two of them doing their thing. Yeah. So
really, the best part of the show.
The best part of the show, really. And so, if you haven't seen the show, no reason to check it out. Just look for highlights of Doris Roberts, because really, she was probably a really fun character actress. And again, it's easy to have missed passing of a star like that, just with everything going on. And in case you hadn't heard, or you briefly heard and missed it, there was another celebrity passing this past week, and that would be Chyna from the WWE, WWF, or whatever as it transitioned.
It was the F at the time.
It was the F at the time. Which is probably why I remember it best, because it happened during the WWF era.
Because it was the Attitude Era.
It was the Attitude Era, the Tude era of the 90s. Everything had Tude.
The best time for the WWE.
Everything from the commercials with Hot Pockets to the video games to your WWF had Tude. Yeah. Because everything was about the Tude. And actually, Chyna was not her real name, stage name. But, I was going to say.
Her mama didn't name her Chyna. No,
yeah, Andre's last name was not the Giant. Joni Lore.
Joni Lore, yes. Yeah. But everybody knew her as Chyna, and even after that, no matter what else she did, she was always going to be Chyna.
Chyna, yeah. And it's weird because it's just... It's weird because you expect, sadly, the male wrestlers to die young. That seems to be just like a trend. God, a trend. But it seems to be a characteristic of the industry as they go too soon. Right. Whether it's because they're so hard on their bodies, both through the physical activities and through the, I guess you would say, libation activities that comes with the kind of rock star.
Well, I mean, chomping down painkillers and shooting up steroids as most of them do.
Yeah.
You know, or have done.
Yeah, between drinking, chopping down steroids, and chomping down drugs at painkillers and injecting steroids. Yeah.
Like, you can't do 5 nights a week throwing your body around like that without doing some serious damage. And,
yeah.
You know, I think that...
what sets her apart is that she was in there with the men doing that kind of stuff.
She was, which is really unusual for the modern era of wrestling. You know, I mean, you go back in, like, the 20s and you'd get these, you know, giant Amazonian women that would come in and fight the guys as kind of like a
gag.
Sideshow sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
But
they were huge, too.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm thinking about those old ones. I've seen that. They're like, yeah. It's like, you can see why people believe they're like hidden tribes of Amazon women who are huge, because they were like, they were still women, but they were just like...
And they would find the most gigantic women that they could, and there are some gigantic women that just, you know, well, yeah, she looks like she could beat up on some of the guys.
Yeah.
And Chyna was able to do that. She was able to come in and really fight alongside the men and really fight against the men.
Yeah.
And it was believable.
Yes.
You know, you couldn't have, like, Trish Stratus fighting Triple H. You know, you wouldn't buy it.
No.
She's quick, but...
Yeah, it'd be like,
he'd land one punch and she'd be like,
funky. I was gonna say, it's about as believable as some like lady, like what's her face, playing a nuclear scientist or Bond. Yeah,
right.
I think it is. She was big and built, but also I liked that she hadn't lost the feminine look, I guess, because you see like female bodybuilders who just like, it looks creepy because it's almost like you took a female head and popped it on top of like somebody like Arnie's body.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there's something that's like a little bit off about that. It's uncanny valley-ish, but she still, I don't know, for lack of a better term, seemed to have the curves of a woman, but still like seemed like
implants.
Oh, really?
Really?
Okay, that surprised me then, but still. It's like, but at least she wanted...
Like, I remember watching the match where she popped one of them.
Ooh, that sounds painful.
Yes.
Gross.
Yes, that ended the match.
I was going to say, ow. Ugh, sorry, getting all rooted out and grossed out.
About a year later, I remember watching a match where it hardly looked like she did anything. Like, she had, like, flipped back into the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
And just, like, stopped there. And then, like, she dropped down, and the match ended. And apparently, like, in her flipping and smacking into the turnbuckle, she had, like, somehow, like, fractured a vertebra in her neck.
Oh.
Like, it didn't even look like anything. It didn't look like she hit it that hard or anything. It just, boom! Like, the particular way she moved. And
it's just like, nope, done.
Yeah. And that was it. And the refs throwing up X's, and, yeah, they... stop the match. That's a few. I have a few like vivid memories of some of the matches I've seen over the years, and that
I was gonna say
Triple H getting his trachea smashed. Yeah,
it's like this is why these people...
Vince McMahon ripping both of his quadriceps.
Yeah, it says his quads.
His quads. He ripped both of his quads. Both of his quads.
I was going to say, that's agony you can't fake. That's just like, no matter how good of an actor these people are.
Yeah, and who was it? Diesel. Where he had like just come back from rehabbing his quads and ripped it again, which I vividly remember because he's wearing the short shorts and you can watch the muscle like pull up under his skin. It was just...
Yeah, that's the kind of vomit-inducing thing. Like, more than the fake getting color, as they call it. It's like when you know that something's gone horribly wrong in their body. Yeah. But yeah, and maybe that's part of the reason why she passed so soon. She was only like 45.
Wow.
So, very young. As they like to say, far too young for somebody to have passed. But these people and these entertainers, as we've said before, you know, I'll put them toe-to-toe with a lot of these so-called big actors because they are out there putting both their...
or any of these athletes. Like, really, they are the top athletes.
Yeah.
That people don't give them enough credit because they're on the quote-unquote male soap opera, you know?
Yeah.
But they really are, like, okay, some of them not so much, but
Not
many
so
of them are excellent actors.
Many of them are good at, like we were talking about last time, blanking on his name, Batista.
Dave Batista,
yeah.
Dave Batista, excellent actor. Triple H gets far too little credit for his acting chops.
Yeah.
And so, you go, well, yeah, some of these guys actually can act, and they can do a shooting star press off of the top rope. Like, can you do that? No, you can't.
Yeah, can you punish your body for like half an hour and then do like basically a grandiose speech from the top of a thing while thousands of people are cheering you on for both here and millions more at home? And sit there and try not to talk out of breath and spiel out like how you're going to take the
half of that.
No. So stuff it. People like Chyna are, especially the Tude era, where you got to do everything. You got to do all that plus Tude.
Yeah, plus get color.
Get color. Plus color, plus Tude, plus be a showman or showwoman. Yeah. So I'd say go online there and check out some of her old matches, because those are kind of fun. And if you want to see somebody in horrible pain, or just like, oh my gosh, then check out the ones that Lunchbox was mentioning.
Some of those, yep. The horrible pain. I remember those. Yeah, I don't know why.
And maybe that'll give you newfound appreciation, if none was there before, of what these people and these great athletes put themselves through. So rest in peace, Chyna, and thanks for the great matches. So, to wrap up an unfortunate in memoriam segment, it's hard to, he wasn't a movie star, but we need to talk.
Yeah, he was.
He was, but we obviously now need to talk about the passing of Prince Rogers Nelson, better known as Prince, better known as
the purple one, calf cap, glyph.
Yeah, that little weird symbol that you all picture in your minds half the time when you hear Prince's name. But yeah, Prince has passed, which is just, again, weird. Not half as weird as David Bowie, I'm sorry to say.
Right.
Okay, but
I don't have the same, I don't have that, that's not possible
I don't have
kind of thing with Prince. We said at the time when Bowie passed, you just have that, but that's not possible with Bowie. With Prince, you kind of knew it was possible. You believed that he was human. Superhuman, certainly.
Certainly superhuman, but not that he was immortal, sadly. But, he did. He was also in a movie. He did actually win an Academy Award in a sadly now defunct category. It was at, Best Original Score Music Soundtrack,
right.
Is the way they put it. And so he's the Academy Award winning, multi-Grammy winning artist. The formerly known as artist. But yeah, it is a little bit hard to believe that he's passed. He was only 57. They're still under investigation at the time of this recording as to what made him pass.
Right.
I think part of the reason that I find it not too shocking, but still a little like, oh wow, is that a week prior to his passing, his plane had an emergency landing because he was experiencing some sort of medical issue.
Right, and he had canceled a concert that he was going to do.
Yeah.
He did come out, he had a party, came out and said a few words and did a brief performance, which is really unusual for Prince to do brief performance, because he basically just played for hours at these parties normally. Yeah. So obviously wasn't doing well. There was some sort of problem there, so.
But yeah, he went surprisingly quick, because there was no build up, oh my gosh, he has cancer, right. He's got the flu or something. That's what it was rumored. He had some sort of flu or bronchitis or something, and it just hit him hard. Again,
pneumonia, I think I heard.
I've heard pneumonia. Somebody, it was Oprah or somebody. No, it was Aretha Franklin was theorizing the Zika virus. But again, this news is still sadly fresh. It's only a few days old at the time of this recording.
Yeah,
and it's one of these major impacts, because he much like Bowie, I'm not trying to steal Prince's thunder here, he traversed various entertainment mediums from not just like the musical scene, but he was he
did Purple Rain.
Purple Rain. He did Purple Rain. The
Under
movie.
the Cherry Moon, of course.
Under the Cherry Moon, and cameo appearances, appeared a few to shows such as himself.
Right,
obviously.
as himself, and of course his unforgettable performance on The New Girl as Prince.
As Prince, yeah,
which was just priceless. And if you have not seen it, it is available on Netflix. It's season 1, I think, episode 8. Just scroll down. The episode title is Prince.
I was going to say, but it's just called Prince, isn't it?
You'll recognize it.
Recognize it. It's the one that's
Watch
called
it, even
Prince.
if you don't care a whit about New Girl. Prince in there is fabulous.
Yeah. Or if you want some kind of tribute to him with the kiddos, watch the original Goofy movie, which has sort of like a proto-Prince figure, Goofy-ish thing at the end. They're trying to reach what's essentially a Prince concert without Prince. So yeah, obviously a very impactful guy, to the point that he even had cartoon parodies of himself. I was thinking even of the Animaniacs cameo, the infamous Animaniacs cameo, which still to this day lands. The writers themselves said we still have no idea how that got past the censors moment. But yeah. So I don't know how
which is probably not even appropriate to repeat on this podcast.
I was going to say, not even appropriate to repeat on this podcast, so transition. But he's so sad. You have to say it was instead of is. Very impactful. And
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say greatest musician of all time.
Oh, more than Bowie, Jackson, Elvis. Or are you saying musician, performer, writer? Because because
all.
He has like a vault. So supposedly there's like somewhere around 2,000 unreleased songs that he has.
Right. It's like he's released more albums than any other performer.
Yeah.
And according to storied legend, he has at least 3 albums worth of material for every one released album.
Yeah.
So he is probably the most prolific of all time.
Yes.
He also wrote, produced, arranged, composed, performed all of his albums. No. All. He did all the instruments.
I was going to say all. He was everything on those albums. So, yeah. In case you didn't know.
He played all of the instruments and then produced the actual album. Like, actually composed and arranged the album.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, well, so vocals, background vocals, and both vocals and background vocals. Yes, he played the guitar, the piano, the drums, all of it. Keyboards, everything.
Yeah.
Like, no, that, to me, if you can name one other person that has done that in the history of music...
But they've done all the everything.
Written all of their music. Even if you can name one person that has written and sang all of their music.
I was going to say, it's not just his own music. Because he wrote a number of songs for other people.
For other people, yes.
He just had talent oozing out everywhere.
He had too much. He had to give it away.
I have too much. Have some of mine. Yeah. And from all accounts, pretty...
Nothing compares to you. Manic Monday.
Yeah, I know. Manic Monday. That was the one that always surprised me. It's like, Manic Monday was not...
That's a Prince tune.
It's a Prince tune. It'll surprise you if you go out there and look up what actually is...
how much he did.
How much he did. Not just his own stuff, but how much of his own stuff that he just said, hey, you can have this one. And handed it off. And those are usually these mega hits for the stars that use them. It's
oftentimes they're one hit.
I was going to say, or their one-hit wonder song is their Prince's throwaway to them. So you're just like...
oh, hey, yeah, I wrote this song here, you can have it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then they're one-hit wonder because they have the one Prince song under their belt, so to speak.
Yeah.
But also, you want to throw out a quick... he composed the entire Bat Dance album.
Yes.
But it's so goofy, and the videos for that are so campy. But by golly, it's there.
I'd say if you can find it, watch all of the videos, all of the Bat Dance videos.
All of the Bat Dance videos are just their own thing. Yes. I won't say they're good or bad. They're just their own thing.
Vicky Vale.
Yeah. There's almost like kind of a rap beat thing going on there.
A little bit of scratching on the...
A little scratching and such, yeah.
Vicky Vale.
Again, not entirely sure it works all the time, but it's...
Stop the presses. Who's that?
Yeah. An interesting use of sampling, for sure.
Yeah.
But gosh, yeah.
And yeah, because he went through all of these different genres. He had, like, the funk and the gospel, and, like, later on he was doing, like, almost techno beats with his stuff, like, doing this dance music. That was still incredible.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, it was, late 90s, probably. I was talking to Joe's little brother, Nick, and, like, I had mentioned offhand that, like, yeah, I was listening to Prince's new album. I know Prince. Because at the time, like, Prince was kind of like, yeah, okay, it was that guy in the 80s and 90s that made all this, music, but, he's kind of, whatever, it's Prince. Oh, yeah, Prince. And he goes, no. Like, if you're a musician, you love Prince. Prince is the best musician. Like, if you listen to his music is so complex you do not even understand. And it's like, musicians know Prince is the best.
Yeah.
And so even listening to his more techno stuff, or even Bat Dance, like, you listen to that, the arrangement is great. Like, he gets a little bit of, hell for it being kind of silly, and a lot of his stuff does.
Yeah.
But even, like, the lyrics are so deep in many ways. And the one thing about Prince that drives me crazy constantly is that he never gets the credit he deserves for being a guitar god.
Okay, I that's a good thing to bring up, because I was, as one does when things like this happens, you look for, like, performance clips that are just outstanding, and there's one that somebody had uploaded like 6 years ago, and it was Prince performing at the 2007 Super Bowl, which I don't always get to watch the Super Bowl. In 2007 I think I was working at the store then, so I didn't have a chance. But it was he was the performer, the headliner, the everything. There was I don't think there was anybody else playing but Prince. And what's great about this, and if you look right now, because it's trending right now, is that it's just the ending performance of him doing Purple Rain, and it is pouring. I didn't know that. Well, just because, again, I missed the Super Bowl that year, and it was pouring rain. Mm-hmm. He went out anyway and performed, and did, like, a complete song set, ended with Purple Rain, and had, like, I don't know how else to put it, just like a very much iconic, like, this is my rock god moment of all time. Like, and he is sitting there jamming on that guitar that's got the goofy glyph symbol, but he's out there rocking on a stage as it is just a phenomenal downpour. And you're thinking, like, okay, he's not out there, like, he like kicks over the mic stand as he's walking out playing this incredible power ballad, and when it thunks on the ground, I was thinking, and he's not, like, lip syncing or anything either, he's doing that stuff live, so that means, like, he's around all this hot equipment that's getting rained on, and you, like, see the bandmates doing, like, the drumming, you see splashes coming up as they're, like, hitting and trying to get the note out of it, and he's out there jamming. And it's like, wow, that's like that. This is like, he's already at that point, like, very prolific, very well known. But, like, I'll think of that as, like, one of his most, if not the most iconic. I am a rock guitar god right at this moment, because the effects going on, the pouring rain, the fact that he's out there and giving it his all, and getting drenched at the same time. The NFL out there helping it to make sure it looks good, but you have Prince out there just absolutely jamming his heart out in a way for the fans. That's I don't know how to see it, what to say it. When I saw it, I was just like saying, like, let's see performers doing that. We got to cancel the halftime show. It's raining. I might ruin something. It's like, no, like out there, like, screw it.
He's just out there
He's
shredding.
He's out there shredding. And there's actually a clip on right now, also from the NFL, where they're talking about it, saying, apparently it said, can you make it rain harder? Because he said that apparently the producers approached him and said, it's raining pretty hard. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. And his response was, can you make it rain harder? So he went out there. He knew what it was going to be like, and he performed. And by golly, did he perform. It's just, I've watched it a couple times.
It's a really great performance. There's a, was it, God, I don't even remember. I don't remember the tune even that he was playing. I think it was While My Guitar Gently Weeps. I don't know why, for some reason I remember.
It was While My Guitar Gently Weeps. It was him, Tom Petty, and I think Santana was there. It was like for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction for George Harrison.
And they're all playing, and he comes out and just
boom,
destroys everybody. You're just like, oh, I didn't know Prince could do that.
Yeah.
Just totally destroys it all. That one and the clip, if you can find it, of when at the James Brown concert, when James Brown invited him on stage. Because he gets up there, takes his shirt off, sings along with James Brown, steals somebody's guitar, goes around searching for a pick. Finally, somebody gives him a pick, and he destroys everybody.
Yeah,
But if you really want to hear great guitar work, I gotta say, and I know nobody except for me owns Crystal Ball, but Crystal Ball Disc 3, he put out a 3-disc set for Crystal Ball. Disc 3 is all acoustic, and him on that acoustic guitar, just picking his heart out, is just beautiful, beautiful music. And so many, from the dance music to just this beautiful acoustic album that he put out. That was the third album on his 3-disc set for Crystal Ball.
Yeah.
That's so, nobody's heard it. It's just this beautiful music. And is so, okay.
Yeah. So, just thanks for all the great tunes, Prince. Sad to see you go. 57 seems too young, even though some people say, 57's kind of old. No. For a performer, an artist like Prince, that's too young, because you know that, that if he had from now to 100, that'd still be too young, because the guy's just...
he still must have had thousands of songs still living in his head that we'll never get to hear.
All right, well, that about wraps it up for this One More Rewrite podcast. Typically, we tickle your ears with a bit of TGIV, that's Thank God for Video, and movies that need a rewrite, but summer's coming up, and we want to do our summer movie spectacular. We're going to have some segments for you where we cover what's coming out and our own thoughts on that. But for now, it's time to wrap things up. So, for Lunchbox,
Night.
I'm Jester. Toodaloo.